really easy now. In Portugal is not an easy country to be a freelancer, but it's getting better. So I said, yeah, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And I did. Like I said, our talk was important. Like everyone else were making the same questions, and I started to that questions to myself, and it was time. It was time. I couldn't be unhappy working what makes me happy, but it wasn't working.
And you were mentioning before as well that you've had a burnout, right?
Yeah. In 1 year, I had 2 burnouts.
Wow.
Yeah. I was working a lot, like full-time in full-time jobs. And there was 2 weeks last year that I worked 2 weeks straight without a break, working like 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, in the end, I was screaming with everyone. I know I needed a better environment to work, and it really pissed me off. A lot of times. I also have I forgot the name. I also have, of course, anxiety, and didn't help. And I also have misophonia, if you know what it is. That small repeated sounds can trigger anxiety attacks. And so I had one. I have one and another one, and then I take some 2 weeks off. And I went to Ireland. I love Ireland, to clean out my head. And I start thinking, no, those 2 weeks paid my vacations, but it didn't pay my health, my mental health.
Exactly.
It didn't. And then a few months later, I had another burnout, working a lot, because I had this amazing freelance job project that I was working on, but again with the freelance and full-time job, and no, I said no. I can't burn out more. So
And do you feel now, like, so when you think about, like, we spoke about it, we made some jokes about time management and all that kind of stuff, but being burnout in your past, like, are you mindful of it now? Like, I cannot, like, even now you're really happy and you're doing all these cool projects that you're doing, but are you still mindful that you cannot go over a certain boundary again? Or, like, at some stage you are going to be, enough is enough. Like, do you
I know.
take it with you?
And I'm trying to manage all my time now, but it's because it's just the beginning. I can't do it really well, but I'm planning. I hope in a few weeks I can do that, because my schedule is almost full until the end of the year, and I want to be comfortable to say no. I have to stop.
Because saying no is a really important thing. I think, especially when you do what you love, because a lot of people, I think this is also an important thing to bring up. It's like, it was always people say to me, like, oh, but you do what you love, like you live the dream life. It's like it's still work. We work really, really hard. I think especially as boss ladies, especially you doing your own projects, I do my own projects, like there is financial stress, there is like all kinds of stuff happening. We also have our struggles, even though of course we live a life that we really love. It's very important to be able to say no, or also to kind of like to show people, like, actually no, not now or later, or like to be really honest with that time. Because I do think that what you were describing as well with your burnout, sometimes and this is something that my friend Erica, who I'm also going to interview soon, she's an amazing person. She lives in Australia, and she is a very big inspiration for me. But she once sent me this message like, don't ever put yourself second to work again. You know that feeling? And I don't know why we do it. I don't know why we feel like as if you take your job away, you don't exist or something, which of course, it's
you are not your job. And I learned that, and I learned that it's okay if you don't feel to work today. You need to stop, and you don't need to feel guilt about it. You and clients understand. I before I was really afraid of asking more money. Like postpone some projects. I was really afraid that clients say, no, I'm not going to work with you anymore. But no, the opposite is happening now. I refuse to do some late time jobs and projects like happened this week. When they ask you to do some late changes. And I said, no, we are going to compromise this project. We are not going to finish in time. I'm not going to do those changes. So they were okay with it. So, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to ask for the right money for my project. I'm not afraid to say to them, no, this month is full. I will work with you next month. And they are okay with it. So it's, again, afraid. You need to stop to be afraid.
Because is that something that in your life came back, like fear? Like, is that something that you face a lot in your life? Like fear of...
I'm a bit confident about myself and everything I do. I never doubt nothing that I do. But fear, it's like others projecting in yourself. If they are afraid, you have fear. So you're like, okay, something is wrong with me if I'm not I'm not confident. So it's common to everyone. You need to stop to be afraid.
And so when you made that big decision of like, I'm going freelance and stuff, did you really felt a big shift, right, for yourself?
I felt so light.
Like a weight lifting off your shoulders in a way.
You are not, even if it's, you don't know how many are you going to be, it will have in the end of the month, but don't worry, everything will be fine. And what's happening now, I feel really light. I feel that all my clients and project partners started to send me a message with new projects after I told them, look, in a month I'll be a freelancer full time. So I'm here for you, and I'll you know what I do. And everyone started to send me message with new projects, and I feel really light. I can work for myself. I'm not going to be annoyed with people who doesn't want to work. I only work with people who really loves to work and put all their souls in it. And feel really well about it. And it's completely different to deal with people who are smart and know what they want. And feel good about it. So it's easy.
And something that you were just mentioning as well, and I think this is something that I really like to say something as well in this podcast, which we've already kind of touched base on it a little bit with the podcast with Miguel and all that kind of stuff, but you were just mentioning it's hard to be freelance in Portugal. That's what you said. Explain, because I'm sure I have more questions, but explain what you meant with that.
A couple of years ago it was difficult because we didn't have like much security. If you don't make money this month, you still have to pay taxes and everything else. Now it changed a bit. If you don't make money this month, you don't have to pay taxes. You can volunteer to pay like 20 euros to keep your social security open. Obviously you don't have much health security and insurance, and if you are sick, you don't have sick leave and that stuff. That's why you need to work in a safe account. If something happens, that's what I'm working now, because I'm not very good with money. So I'm starting to get some money aside if something happens.
Something would happen.
So in Portugal, it started to be better, because a lot of international companies are looking for freelancers here in Portugal. So they give you better conditions. And the governments eventually started to think, okay, they need our people to work for them. So we need to open more for freelancers.
Because to make as an artist, to make a living is hard wherever you are, I would say. But even in general, like, I think making a living and also, you know, like having a house, paying rent and all that kind of stuff is really tough in Portugal, right? Everybody has this, and this is a really important thing, because everybody has this romanticized idea, especially of Lisbon, which of course is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. But there is a definite thing going on, I think, with this country that is, especially for Portuguese people, very hard, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I say to my foreigner friends who say, that would be amazing to live in Lisbon. And I say to them, it's amazing to live in Portugal just for holidays, not for work. And if you work here, you be sure that you work for an international company. And it's really hard to rent a house or a room. The minimum wage is still really low. It's even low than a room can cost in Lisbon.
Because they're not in balance, right? Like the wages are not at all in line with what you have to pay for rent.
At this point, houses are even more expensive. Houses in Lisbon are more expensive than in Paris.
Wow.
Where the minimum wage is like triple.
A lot higher. Exactly. A lot higher.
So it's not. You need to look for a lot of. You need to work a lot.
And does that sometimes like discourage you, like that? What's happening in Portugal? Being Portuguese and living here.
It's all. That's why I look also to work for international clients. But now, as I told you, I started to see that if I'm not afraid, I can't have better Portuguese clients that pay you the rights
what you deserve as well. And you just mentioned as well, you do see things change here, right?
Yes.
And do you think it also helped it because you were recently also at the Web Summit and stuff? Do you think like getting these big events and stuff towards Lisbon, is that also good for the economy of Lisbon? Is it helping the country?
Yes, we call the country the startup country. What I saw in Web Summit, a lot of startups were there and are here in Lisbon, are based in Lisbon. They are international companies. It's really good. Again, it started to open the government for other alternatives than the 9-to-5 job, 9-to-6 in Portugal. Jobs and in tech is growing a lot, and we have great minds in Portugal, really great minds. But all of them run to other countries.
It's always the good people leave, right?
In August, I was in a coding course called She Codes. It was a boot camp only for women to learn how to code. And
whoop whoop, we love that.
And Matt was our teacher. He worked in Google, and he just like travels and work because he can work remotely. And he told us, unfortunately, Lisbon is not a good city to start to work now. You can go to Berlin. It's a big city where you can